Much. In your health news this morning, if you're finding it difficult to make some healthy connections through friendships, you are not alone. In fact, Pew Research here suggests that 61% of adults believe close friendships are extremely important for a fulfilling life. But a study also shows 45% struggle to make new friends. This morning, Tori Dixon from Graceful Journey Counseling joins us to really talk about fostering new bounds and why they're so crucial in our everyday lives. Good morning to you, Tori.
Good morning, Cleo. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Glad to have you here again. You know, most of us know a generic answer for why friendships are so important, but from a mental health perspective, why do we need them?
Well, friendships are really the extension of the secure attachment that we start out from a baby, right? So we
hmm
are securely attached from childhood to that parental figure. And as we get older, our friendships tend to be an extension of creating those secure attachments as we get older and as we mature.
Let's talk about the mental and emotional benefits of healthy friendships.
Yeah. Those benefits are actually studies suggest that the more friends you have, the healthier that you are, right? So again, we go back to those secure attachments. Those friendships actually help us to fight loneliness in many cases, and they end up being communities where we actually get emotional connectivity. And then when things don't go well in our lives, we have those friendships to help us weather the storms of life.
And Tori, you had mentioned the more friends you have, the better, but sometimes the more quality friends you have, and it could just be one, it could be for the best. Why are some adults finding it harder to make friends right now, especially as they grow older?
Let's be honest, Cleo, our lives are so busy right now, right?
hmm
So we really don't have the proximity to quality people in the way that we did when we were younger.
Yeah.
And it just has a lot to do with the fact that we're more busy, we have more lives, and the cynicism that happens with experience. The older you get, the more cynical you get about making new friends and whether or not people are actually trustworthy and whether or not you can place yourself in those most vulnerable positions to actually develop those close friendships.
Now, I'm interested in the answer to this one. What are some green flags people should look for in a friend, and what are some things you should stay away from?
The one thing I always say when you're trying to find new friendships is first you have to kind of do your own self check, right? There must be a place in you where you have an understanding of what you need as a friend.
hmm
The mutual respect is going to be so important. Respecting ideals, respecting one's wishes and thoughts and feelings. That's going to be extremely important in making new friends. Make sure your people around you are adhering to your boundaries. Again, that speaks to that mutual respect, and there must be reciprocity. You can't be the only person investing in the friendship. There must be a mutual investment. And so while the investments between the two people may not be the same, they must be comparable.
Man, great information here. Tori, I have a best friend that I literally call every day when I get off work just to like decompress and put me back in a good
Yeah.
spot. And I'm so thankful for that, my 111 good friend. But let's
Yes.
talk about the difficulty of making friendships. And sometimes it's hard to lose that bond. How do people recover from breaking up with a good friend?
Can I tell you, Cleo, that the best friends that we usually have are ones that outlast romantic relationships, right? So they usually start before we have that significant other and they last beyond that. And so the deepness and the connection and the vulnerability that we have in friendships, oftentimes breaking up with a friend is harder than breaking up with a romantic partnership.
Yeah.
And I say take time and grieve the loss of that friendship. Sometimes the person doesn't go away and sometimes the friendship doesn't go away. Sometimes it's just that the vicissitudes of life causes that connection to be different over the years. So it doesn't look the same that it looked 5 years ago, or it doesn't look the same that it looked 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And you still have to go through that grieving process of the friendship transitioning from one space to another. And I think oftentimes when we just allow ourselves to hold space for the loss of that friendship, I think it helps us in getting better. And it gives us opportunity again to open ourselves up to other new connections.
Oh, good stuff, Tori. I wish I had more time with you. How can people get in contact to learn more or even seek some counseling as well?
You can contact us at gracefuljourneycounseling.com. And if you are an IG person, Wintory Talks on IG.
All right. Tori, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Cleo, and thank you for being a friend.
Thank you. All